Thanks for being here today. I'm Kayla and welcome back to Soul Power Yoga. I wanted to share with you a mindset technique for you to practice for today's yoga class. And that is to maintain a awareness with your breath throughout the duration of the class. So although I'm cueing your breathing with the poses, I encourage you to stay connected to your breath no matter what breath I am cueing at the time. Just see if you can keep a stream of breath, of connected inhales and exhales without pausing the entire time. I challenge you to do this and see what that experience is like for you. See what it feels like to completely commit to being in the present moment. See what that experience is like to fully be in your body, in your breath, without entertaining any thoughts for today's practice. Start by sitting in a comfortable seated position, cross-legged, or however feels best in your body. You can even sit in a chair if you want, or lay down on your back. Whatever feels most easeful for your breath to move through the body. So when you find a comfortable spot, close your eyes and take one hand over your heart and the other over your belly. You're gonna think of this as 3 parts breathing. So breathe into the lower abdomen, just think breathing into the low lobes of the lungs. And then you're gonna breathe up into the rib cage, the mid part of the lungs, and then up into the chest and the throat, so the upper part of the lungs, okay? So let's do 3 rounds of that together, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. So think like a waterfall as you breathe out. And then let's breathe in, breathe into the lower space, the rib cage, and then the chest and the throat. And then exhale, release from the throat and the chest, and then from the ribs, and then the low belly. Okay, let's do it one more time. Breathe in like a wave. And breathe out 3 parts. Okay, release your hands down and breathe in and out of the nose. Just notice how it feels to breathe right now. And then blink your eyes open. We're going to get started on that flow. So come on to hands and knees. And then we're going to go through 3 rounds of cat-cow. Breathe in as you let your belly drop down, pull your chest through. And then on the exhale, tuck in round your spine. 2 more times. Breathe in. Be careful not to strain in your neck. It's more about opening and lifting the chest. And then when you push away from the ground, spread the shoulder blades apart. And last one, inhale, lift up for cow pose. Stretching the spine, warming up the core. And exhale, tuck in round, tuck your chin in. Come to a tabletop position, and I'm going to flip this way and extend your right leg back behind you. If this is already enough of a balancing pose for you, then awesome, just stay here. Or if you want to go a little bit further, extend your left hand out, your left arm out in front, and balance here. Lift up through the core and make sure you're breathing as always. And obviously we're always breathing, but bring your conscious attention to your breath. And then take your hand down. Let's go on the other side. So lift the left leg this time, flex through the foot, and then reach your right arm out in front or keep your hand down. Push up and away from the ground through the hand and into the top of the right foot. Hug your belly into your spine. Practicing a little balancing here. And then on the exhale, release the hand and your knee down. This time we're going to hug the right knee into your chest and then extend. Keep the leg bent as you reach it up towards the sky. So it's kind of like we're doing cow pose again. And on the exhale, tuck the knee up towards your chest or your nose. And then one more time. Bring your foot up. Keep the toes pointed. And then take your knee down. We're going to extend, lift the left leg up this time. And tuck and round. Bring your left knee in towards your nose. Breathe in as you extend and open up the chest. Exhale, tuck and round. Take your knee down, and then we're going to come up into a plank pose. So lift the knees off the ground, hands are shoulder width apart, spread your fingers wide. Make sure your hips are down but not sinking, and then not too high so that you have core engagement. Spread the collarbone, broaden your chest, and breathe in, and then on the exhale, send your hips back to downward facing dog. Keep a bend in the knees to warm up and ease into stretching into the hamstrings. Okay, inhale, lift your chest forward, rock forward into plank, and exhale back to down dog. Let's do it one more time. So inhale, lift forward, shoulders over wrists. And exhale, hips up, back, stretch into the hamstrings, downward facing dog. So this time you're going to take your knees down to the ground and then also bend your elbows, bring your chest to the ground. Okay, extend your hands out in front of you and then lift the chest up. Push the tops of your feet into the ground. We're in extended cobra to stretch the low back. Take a deep breath in here, looking forward. And exhale, lower your belly and your chest. Take your hands on either side of your rib cage, and then you can use your knees to press back up and then back to downward facing dog. Okay, so all on one inhale, lift and send your shoulders forward. Lower the knees, lower the chest and the belly. Press your hands out in front and then lift the chest up. All on one exhale, lower down, press up and back to downward facing dog. Let's do this all one more time. So big full breath all the way in as you lower yourself down to the ground. You're continuing to breathe in. And then exhale the whole way out. And back to down dog. Nice. Okay. So just continue breathing normally. Look forward in between your hands and then walk your hands forward till you come into a forward fold. Bend the knees quite generously. Don't be stingy about it. You can bend them a lot depending on how tight your hamstrings are and behind your knees. Okay, you're going to slide your hands to your low back, clasp your hands and press your palms together. See if you can straighten your arms out. Great. Okay, on an inhale, you're going to lift your chest and your head and send your hips to the ground like you're sitting in a chair. Awesome. Look forward. Big full breath and then exhale, forward fold. Let your hand, your arms come over the head. Okay, inhale, lift up back to chair pose. Breathe into the heart space and exhale, forward fold. Let's do it one more time because it feels good. Breathe in. Come on up. Cat fight over here. Exhale, forward fold. Release your hands to your low back first, and then let them slide down your legs. Take your hips all the way down to the ground. And now we will begin our kidney practice where we're gonna really help it detoxify just help the function of our kidneys. Okay, so this first pose is bridge, or I'm sorry, it's not bridge. It is, we're gonna do bridge, but this is called half boat pose. So if you want to write these down, there's 6 of them. Then you have an idea of what poses you can do when you feel inspired to detoxify your body and help those certain organs function better if you're having any troubles. Okay, so this first one, we're gonna do half boat pose. Find your sit bones, knees are bent, and then you can have your hands down on either side of your hips, and then lean back so much that your feet come up, and then flex the feet, keep your legs pressed together. Maybe you could spread your toes, or point your toes, point your feet, little ankle stretch here too. And then you could stay there or reach your arms out in front. Okay, let's take 3 deep breaths holding here. Hug your belly in and your thighs towards your core. Spread your fingers wide, softly gaze in front as you breathe. Last inhale. And on the exhale, release your feet and your hands down. Okay, this one is a twist. So we're gonna do a half twist. What you'll do is bend your left leg and then take your right leg over the top. Sit up nice and tall, and you can do this with your legs stretched out if that feels better. Sit up nice and tall and then turn towards your right thigh. Take your elbow and hook it on the outside of your right knee there. Do whatever thing, mudra, you might want to do with your hand, or simply just spread your fingers wide. And then take your gaze over, if you can, over the right shoulder. And notice there's going to be a little bit of like tension in your abdomen in this twist. So that's really good. It's kind of like here is where you're detoxifying. You're helping tone and stimulate your internal organs. So breathe into that tension, into that twist. Okay, you'll want to take at least 3 breaths, unwind, and then we'll do the other side. I always like to shake my legs out just to release some tension. Okay, I already did that one. So now we're gonna bend the right leg underneath and then take the left leg on top. Sit up nice and tall and then turn towards your left thigh. Hug your thigh into your body. Do whatever works best for you. If you can't get your elbow around, that's okay. You can just hug your leg in. And make sure you have a nice long spine. Take your chin and gaze over the left shoulder. You can be on the fingertips or press your palm down flat. Three to 5 deep breaths. And on your exhale, unwind. Stretch out the legs. Okay, this one is Sphinx pose. So come down onto the ground, onto your belly. We actually did something similar to this already when we did extended cobra, but this one is a little bit more gentle, and you just have your elbows underneath your shoulders, fingers spread wide, lift the chest, and you want to pull your sternum forward. And be mindful of your neck and your face, so relax your face and jaw. And breathe into your heart center, the rib cage. Just have the intention of supporting your body's needs, of toning and stimulating your kidneys. And after about 3 to 5 deep breaths, On your exhale, lower your chest down. Reach your arms out in front. Roll over onto your back, and we're going to go into a bridge pose now. So bend your knees, place your feet onto the ground, and then arms down. Lift your hips up, push down through your heels, and then you can tuck and roll your arms underneath you. Clasp your hands if you can. Keep the chin tucked into your chest. And then hug the inner thighs toward one another and squeeze your glutes as you lift your hips up to the sky. So this is strengthening the legs, the quads, the glutes, and it is also a very nice way to calm and relax the mind, as well as stimulate your internal organs, kidneys, the liver. Breathe into the chest, the rib cage. Big full breaths, and draw your shoulders down and away from your ears, creating a nice long spine. And on the exhale, release the arms if they're clasped and slowly lower your hips back to the ground. And just take your knees side to side. Okay, hug the knees into your chest and then tuck and roll until you come up to a seat. We're almost finished here. We got 2 more poses. So extend your legs out in front of you. Awesome. Sit on to your sit bones. Just imagining you are right here doing it with me. So good job. Sit up nice and tall, flex the feet, and press your palms down to the ground on either side of your hips. And try to press the legs down towards the ground and your palms down into the ground too. Relax the shoulders and breathe into the kidneys, the space where the kidneys are, somewhere right up around here. I think it's like up towards the rib cage, kind of towards the back. And after a few breaths here, you're going to bend the knees a little bit, relax your feet, and then forward fold. Relax the head and the neck. And let's take 3 deep breaths in this forward fold. Let's see if you can hear the silence. I know that's kind of a strange thing to say, but just try it out. On your next inhale, lift your chest and your head like it's filling you up like a balloon. And then come all the way down. Choose your final rest position. It could be corpse pose where your legs are straight out. Or you could try extended reclined butterfly. I like this one too if you want to open up the hips a little bit and rest here. Or you could do constructive rest pose, another favorite. Heel toe your feet out wide and then let your knees fall in toward one another there. That's kind of a better way to see it. And you can make that connection with yourself, your body, by placing a hand on your heart and a hand over the belly. And let's take 3 deep breaths together in and out of the nose. Remember that 3-part breath. Breathe in and fill the low lobes of the lungs, and then the rib cage, and then the chest and throat. Exhale, release the breath from the throat and the chest, and then the ribs, and then the low belly. One more time, just like that. Fill the lungs all the way up, and then completely release and let go. And that includes your thoughts. Okay, thank you for being here today and practicing this detox kidney tone and stimulation practice with me. I hope that you find a time and a place in your life to practice this. And I will see you next week. Thank you again for being here. Namaste.